Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake is officially dead. After 6 years of rumors, delays, studio shifts, and broken promises, Ubisoft has finally pulled the plug. And they didn't stop there. This cancellation is just the tip of the iceberg in what might be the single most disastrous day in the company's recent history. We are talking about 6 games axed in total, studios closing their doors, and a stock price that has absolutely cratered by over 30% in a single morning. Now, since the initial announcement back in 2020, fans have been on this roller coaster of hoping that maybe, just maybe, Ubisoft would fix the initial backlash and deliver the remake this legendary game deserves. But instead, we got silence, we got vague updates, and now we have the confirmation that it is all over. It is a massive blow to everyone who grew up playing The Sands of Time, and honestly, it paints a really bleak picture for the future of Ubisoft as a whole. Remember the first reveal? The graphics looked dated, the character models were off, and the fan reaction was brutal. But back then, Ubisoft said they were listening. They delayed it, they moved development from Ubisoft Mumbai and Pune over to Ubisoft Montreal, the original creators of the trilogy. That move alone was supposed to be the smoking gun that proved they were serious about saving this game. We all thought, okay, Montreal made the original, they can fix this. But clearly, even the original studio couldn't salvage whatever mess was left behind. And it makes you wonder, if they couldn't get a remake of a linear, single-player action game right after 6 years, what does that say about the rest of their pipeline? This isn't just about one game. The official press release states that alongside Prince of Persia, 5 other games have been canceled. 4 of them were unannounced, including 3 new IPs and a mobile title. That is 6 projects, millions of dollars, and years of developer time just thrown into the void. And the reasoning they gave? It's the standard corporate response. They claimed these titles did not meet the new enhanced quality benchmarks. They talked about a selective market and needing to focus on their biggest brands. Basically, if it's not Assassin's Creed or a massive live service money printer, it's on the chopping block. It's incredibly frustrating because Prince of Persia wasn't trying to be a 100-hour open-world RPG with microtransactions. It was supposed to be a faithful return to a beloved classic. But apparently, in modern Ubisoft's eyes, that just isn't viable anymore. Now, this news gets even worse when you look at the delays. On top of the 6 cancellations, they have delayed 7 other games. 7! And while they didn't name all of them, the rumors and insiders are already pointing to the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake being pushed back to fiscal year 2027. If that is true, we are waiting a very long time for the next major nostalgia trip. It feels like they are clearing the deck completely, panicked by their financial situation, and just trying to survive by cutting anything that isn't guaranteed to make $1 billion. The financial side of this is actually terrifying. Ubisoft's stock dropped 34% immediately after this news broke. That is a massive hit. They are projecting a loss of around 1 billion euros. When you see numbers like that, you have to put your tinfoil hat on and ask if the company is setting itself up for a buyout. Like, you don't strip your portfolio down to the bare minimum unless you are in crisis mode. They are closing Ubisoft Stockholm and Ubisoft Halifax entirely. These aren't just names on a spreadsheet. These are hundreds of developers losing their jobs because management couldn't steer the ship correctly. And it's not just the stock market reacting, it's the community. You check any forum right now and the sentiment is at an all-time low. People are tired of getting hyped for announcements that turn into dust. I think what hurts the most about the Prince of Persia cancellation specifically is just how close it felt. We had insiders claiming it was essentially rebooted and moving smoothly under Montreal. We had a release window of 2026. It felt tangible. And then, boom, gone. Just like that. It reminds me a lot of other vaporware projects, but this one stings more because the blueprint was already there. The original game is a masterpiece. You literally just had to update the visuals and the controls. You didn't need to reinvent the wheel, but somehow they overcomplicated it, or just didn't see the profit margins they wanted. And this strategic reset they're talking about, it focuses heavily on open-world adventures and games as a service. They're doubling down on the exact things that people have been criticizing them for. It's like they looked at the success of single-player hits like God of War or even the Dead Space remake and said, nah, we want more live services. It just doesn't make sense to me. The demand for a high-quality Prince of Persia remake was there. The hype was real, but they chose to chase trends instead of delivering what the core fanbase actually asked for. Now, we have to talk about what this means for the other projects we care about. Is the Splinter remake safe? I honestly don't know anymore. If Prince of Persia can survive for 6 years of development hell only to be executed at the finish line, Splinter could easily be next. It's in that same boat of beloved classic that doesn't fit the open world mold. And let's be real, look at Beyond Good and Evil 2. That game has been vaporware for over a decade. If they are willing to kill the Prince, a game that actually had a playable foundation, then a massive, ambitious project like that is probably already dead in the water. They just haven't told us yet. I really hope I'm wrong. I hope Sam Fisher survives this purge. But with the way things are going, I wouldn't bet money on it. It's also worth noting that this cancellation comes right after the disappointment of Star Wars Outlaws and the delay of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Ubisoft needed a win. They needed some goodwill. Canceling a fan-favorite remake is the exact opposite of that. It destroys trust. Why should we get excited for any future announcement when they have proven they will cut a game even after years of work? It makes it hard to invest any emotion into their upcoming slate. So, where does this leave us? We have The Lost Crown, which was fantastic, but that was a smaller-scale Metroidvania. The big, cinematic 3D Prince of Persia experience is effectively dead for the foreseeable future. And for console players who just wanted to relive that adventure on a PS5 or Xbox Series X with modern graphics, this is a huge loss. We're stuck with the backwards compatible versions, which are fine, but they're not the expanded and enhanced experience we were promised. I'm really curious to see if any footage of the canceled Montreal build ever leaks. I bet it looked a lot better than that first trailer. It would be a smoking gun to see what we actually lost, to see if the game was actually shaping up to be good before the executives killed it. It's crazy when you think about the resources wasted here. We're not just talking about money, we're talking about talent. Developers spent years of their lives on this, crunching to meet deadlines that didn't matter, only to have their work deleted because some executive wanted to chase the next big trend. But until then, we're just left with the disappointment. Ultimately, this is a wake-up call. The AAA industry is in a volatile place, and Ubisoft is right in the center of the storm. They're trying to pivot, restructure, and save money, but they are doing it at the expense of their legacy and their fans. I personally believe that if they just had released a solid 15-hour Prince of Persia remake, it would have sold millions. But they want Fortnite money, not Prince of Persia money. And that mentality is exactly why we are in this situation. It's a sad day for anyone who loves this franchise. The Sands of Time will always be a classic, but the dream of seeing it reborn on modern hardware is over. Hopefully, another developer can learn from this and realize that people still want linear, story-driven action games. But for Ubisoft, it seems like those days are behind them. But that's going to wrap it up for this breakdown, guys. I am seriously bummed out about this one. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments section. Are you surprised by this cancellation, or did you see it coming after all the delays? And how do you feel about Ubisoft axing 5 other games just to focus on live services? Let me know down below. Like the video, subscribe if you know what's good for you, and until next time, I will talk to you guys in the next video.